This is a machine-assisted pull-up. The assisted pull-up machine reduces a portion of your body weight, allowing you to train your pull-up with better control, full range of motion, and better quality reps. It's a great tool for building that lat strength, improving technique, and progressing towards that unassisted pull-up over time. With this machine, the weight selection is opposite. The heavier weight you choose provides more assistance, meaning that the movement is easier with more weight selected and harder as you use less weight. The machine-assisted pull-up trains the back, including the lat, and support from the teres major, the mid and lower traps, rhomboids, rear delts, and also biceps. This is a lengthened biased movement, meaning that the exercise feels the heaviest and the hardest at the bottom when your arms are fully extended and the lats are stretched overhead. This machine can double as both a pull-up and a dip machine. So sometimes if the person before you was using it for body weight dips, the knee pad may be put away. So if the pad is not out to place your knees on, simply pull the pad up to bring it back out. Or for some machines, it may be placed up, so you may need to pull a pin to allow it to drop down to place your knees on the pad. On this machine, more weight means more help, and less weight means it will feel heavier. You can think of the weight as a counterbalance to your body weight. If you use the same weight as your body weight, it would actually be kind of hard for you to get to that bottom position. You'd almost have to push yourself down. You want to choose the least amount of assistance that allows you to complete controlled reps through a full range of motion with proper execution. If you're brand new and unsure with where to start, a reasonable starting estimate is around 70 to 80% of your body weight. For example, if you weigh 150 pounds, you might start at about 120 pounds of assistance and then adjust up or down based on the difficulty. For this version, we're using a standard pull-up grip, meaning that your hands should be placed just outside your shoulder width using an overhand grips with your palms facing forward. You want to step onto the platform steps, grab the handles up top, then place one knee on the pad at a time with control. Once you're supported and set up, allow your body to settle into that full dead hang with the elbows fully straight and the shoulder blades completely elevated. This is the lengthened position. For our execution from that bottom lengthened position, we want to initiate the rep by driving the shoulder blades down and away from the ears, then pulling your elbows down towards the ground. Instead of pulling just straight up, you can think about bringing your sternum, the upper portion of your chest, toward that bar. And this naturally creates a small backward arc and improves that lat fiber alignment and reduces some shoulder pain. You want to pull up until your chin reaches at least about bar height, with the option to pull slightly higher towards your clavicle or your collarbones if your strength allows. At the top, we want to pause briefly for about a second or so while keeping those shoulder blades down and that neck nice and long. Then from that top position, we want to begin a nice, slow, controlled eccentric where you're lowering yourself all the way back down to that full stretch. And we want to aim to take at least 3, 4, maybe even 5 seconds on that way down to maximize tension through that eccentric loading. Now let's talk common mistakes and how to fix them, because there are quite a few. One common mistake is selecting too little assistance, making it feel too heavy, which leads to swinging, knee drive, shortened range of motion, or excessive momentum. If you can't control that eccentric lengthening where you're coming down nice and slow in control, or get that full stretch at the bottom, or that top portion where your chin is at the bar, you want to add resistance and clean up the reps. The most common mistake that I see with women, though, is just letting those shoulders come way too high and shortening the neck and almost like losing the distance between the shoulders and the ears. We don't want to let those shoulders shrug and get really tight in the neck. That can happen at the bottom lengthened position where we're getting all of that. But through the actual rep, once that shoulder blade is down and depressed, we want to have a really nice, long, relaxed neck with those shoulders down and really just owning that good posture. Another common mistake is pulling 100% vertically straight. It's not necessarily wrong, but it often turns the movement more into an arm-driven pull. Instead, we want to focus on pulling the elbows down and slightly back, guiding your sternum towards the bar to get better lat engagement. And then shortening the range of motion is another frequent problem. We want to make sure that we should start every rep with those relatively straight elbows and those elevated shoulder blades to get that full stretch. And we want to go through that full scapular retraction at the bottom where most people are the weakest. Research consistently shows that training those muscles under load in that lengthened position is a key driver for hypertrophy, and that's where a lot of girls really struggle with getting their pull-ups, is feeling weak in that bottom position, which is why full depth matters so much here. And then lastly, just avoid rushing that eccentric descent when we're coming down. That eccentric phase is where a large portion of strength and hypertrophy stimulus occurs, so we want to slow it down, take full advantage of it, and just really own the movement.